Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Alan retired in the Philippines. I thank you for joining my channel, for the new viewers, and my returns, and all of you that subscribe. I appreciate each and one of you. Today's topic is a very unusual one. It's how to survive a sexless marriage. Yeah, a sexless marriage. Things happen to more people here than I realized. I met a gentleman at an expat group. There's very few foreigners in this area. And he goes, Alan, I got a problem. Can I talk to you about it? I said, well, sure. I know what it's like. It's very hard to find someone to talk about your problems. And he totally shocked me, and I could relate to a lot of this. So I'll be right back to tell you about this, because this could easily happen to you. And we're really curious what you would do about this. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. What happened was, we went to a birthday party. A lot of expats there from different countries. We try to have get together once a month. And this one guy really shocked me. He started telling me his whole story. He needed someone to talk to. Now, trying to find someone to listen to your problems is very difficult here. But we don't know how to solve them, but it sure helps to able to talk about it. Maybe learn something from it. Well, he told me he met this, wonderful Filipina. They had an LDR. They got along great for years. He sells everything he has to come here to be with her and to marry her. And he's in his 70s and she's in his 60s. And they just got along great. But during the honeymoon period, as far as intimacy, it was fantastic. He says he's never been in love like this in my life. He never experienced such wonderful feelings about a woman before. I said, I agree, and I hear that about so many people. Me too. I've never been in love like this in my entire life. I never experienced such wonderful people. The Filipino women are fantastic. They go by the old traditional marriage. And when it comes to intimacy, you never hear, oh, I got a headache, all that stuff, and the reason we both got married, and we agreed, is that there's no divorce in this country, and they have very strict adultery laws. So if a woman wants to marry you, they're more apt to work with you and to make the marriage work. And they're less likely to cheat on you because of the adultery laws, because you can end up in jail. This is a proven fact. And I said, okay. I didn't want to come here for a younger woman and play around and this, that, and everything. I wanted a true loving relationship. I was chasing that dream for years. It's hard to find someone who knows how to stay to their marriage vows and committed and show love and take care of each other. I don't know. But, of course, there's a honeymoon period, where you're both very physically active. And it's natural that things slow down in the few years there after marriage. He's kind of like me. Just want a little intimacy and love, like once a month, twice a month if lucky. Not asking much, But when it comes to the point where she stops completely, like, whoa, that wasn't part of the plan. How could you just stop completely? You try to find out, and you hear all these answers, I don't know, I don't know. It's not physical, it's not menopause, it isn't where their body changes and all that. All the physical signs there that there's no problem. They get super excited. We both get totally satisfied. But, when you make marriage vows, you're supposed to take care of each other. Help each other's needs, what they want, do for each other, grow old together, take care of each other. But when you stop, what do? Um, it got to a point where even my own wife told me, you're allowed to have a girlfriend. Like, what? I couldn't believe she said that to me. She said she did that with her ex-husband. I said, well, no. I didn't come here to be with other girls. I came here to be with you, I sold everything to be with you. I want a life. I want a wife. I want a lifetime commitment. I don't want a girl off to the side. I don't know if she was trying to trap me to see if I would or whatever, but it's very common for a Filipino wife to tell their husband, they can have a girlfriend off to the side, but I can't do that. I'd feel too guilty, I don't know. It's kind of complicated. But, making love in a relationship, is very, very important. And he said that his wife accused him, well, you just married me for sex. No. Geez, all these girls all around here, they'll do anything to have a foreigner partner. He could have a different girl every week. He didn't marry her for sex. He married her because he loved her, wants attention, affection, and so on. They just don't get it. I don't understand, and he don't understand, and I don't even know if the women don't understand. I don't know what's going on. It's totally unexpected. But what do you do when you made marriage vows? I take them sacredly, and I go by the Bible. It's even in the Bible to take care of each other physically, two flesh becomes one. There's a lot of things in the Bible about that, Well, like I said, I stick to my marriage vows and go by the Bible to feel good about myself. But when he's in a predicament and when I get into a predicament, what is there to do? What options are there, He went on a support group on Facebook, marriage support group for Filipinas and everything. And, she found out, his wife found out, she got totally upset. Well, listen, asking for advice is a good sign that, he still loves you, And another thing, they made an agreement when he was in the States. If there's any future problems in our marriage, we just take it to a counselor or to our pastor at the church or whatever and solve our problems peacefully and calmly and so on. But when problems come upon, say, okay, let's go talk. They refuse. Now, don't be telling me a bunch of things and then change. It's changes that causes the problem, and can't really find out why. But like I said, it's not a physical thing. We don't know if it's a control issue or what it is. It's not physical because they really enjoy intimacy. There's certain body functions that you just can't fake. I mean, the difference, and don't understand why they want to put a stop to that. I don't know. It's very, very complicated. But what is one to do? You hear a lot of people, oh, just go find another. There's plenty. Well, listen, when you put years of your time, emotion, financial investment in the home, and we're getting old. You put every effort. You make lots of sacrifices to make it work. How can you just up and leave just to find another just like that? It's not that simple, It sounds simple, but, if you don't have a guilty conscience, I guess it's simple. But I refuse to live it with guilt. I want to do what's right. So I got a lot of soul searching to do, and so does this other guy I was talking to. And, maybe we can come up with something to solve this, but we're really curious what others would do in this situation. You could easily end up in this situation, you know. You believe these women to 100%, 100% everything they tell you until they make changes. And you don't get a really good explanation why, you know. I don't know. To me, intimacy is a very, very important part of a relationship. And taking care of each other and pleasing each other. I'd do anything in the world to please my wife, you know. And the wife should do everything in the world to please her husband. I don't know what to say. It's very complicated. But anyhow, if anybody's experienced this, share your thoughts with the rest of us. Maybe we can learn by this, you know. What would you do? Would you have a sexless marriage or what? Or deal with it? Or I don't know. It's complicated. Okay. Stay tuned for future videos. Let you know what happens. And see where we all can go from here. Have a good day. Hope everything works out there for everybody. Okay. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.